clean. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Next Weekly Podcast. Man, what a way to start the morning.
Yeah, there's no better way to start a Sunday than Tank.
Yeah, that's right. So we got the whole gang back together.
Hey now.
And he's wearing the same shirt from the Josh Dance thing.
I know. I was gonna comment. I basically wear this shirt every Sunday. It feels like so.
Continuity. The watchers love continuity.
Fisto 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yes,
That's right.
That's how they know which multiversal version of me is the right one.
Come to the comic book podcast has more continuity, more stable continuity than Marvel or DC put together.
Yeah, exactly. We've been rebooted 0 times.
No retcons here.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Cool. Well, we got a pretty busy show today, I think, as I was looking at our notes. There's a lot going on in both the media, and there's a lot we want to talk about.
Oh, yes.
If you're here, our main topic will be Strange Adventures by Tom King, Mitch Gerads, and Doc Shaner, 12-issue maxi series from DC Comics. Where we'll get into it, but what a way to bring Adam Strange into the fold.
I know. I finished it last night, and I was just like, I am so glad we're talking about this tomorrow.
Awesome.
Well, and our timing is kind of good because the trade just came out, right?
Yep.
Like I think it came out like this week or last week.
Yep. Yeah, I picked that up. It's really nice. Really nice hardcover. Like most of the King books get a really nice reprint treatment. So
yeah, that Ultimate Vision book not Ultimate, but the Tom King Vision book had everything in it. I mean, it had scripts, it had layouts. I mean, they do great jobs. I mean, Marvel did with Tom King. The Mr. Miracle book's pretty great. It's got lots of extras, and it's just, I mean, they know what kind of collectors are buying this stuff.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this guy, if they're willing to drop like $40-$50 on this hardcover, let me put some good stuff in it.
Yeah.
But before that, we got some other stuff to talk about, stuff we've been watching and reading and doing throughout the week. So let's see. Who is the most... Oh, Kyle, you good? We can hear you, but I don't know if you can...
Hold on a second. Okay, I think I can hear you guys now.
Okay.
Right. You good?
Good. Well, since Kyle can hear us, Kyle, why don't you kick us off? I know we got a lot of similar stuff on the list.
I'm still trying to figure. Let me go somebody else go first. I've still got a few.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out.
Josh, you got something pretty weird, even though you haven't read comics.
Yeah, I know. Mine.
Let's go there.
As usual, I'm the outlier. I've read no comics this week. I'm actually going through my pile on my app right now to see what I have to read. Yeah, I've been dealing with COVID for a week, so I'm over it. But that's why I sound like this.
Wouldn't reading comics be something you'd be doing when you're sick, though?
Yeah, but unfortunately, I had a bunch of other stuff to do. So.
Josh likes to work out when he's sick.
Yeah,
fight the infection.
He's gotta get that practice of fisting.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. But I did watch a couple things. I'm a big fan of Reno 911, which is kind of dumb, but it's just dumb
fun.
Yeah.
dumb doesn't exist on this podcast. I don't think.
Well, the thing I'm surprised, when they rolled out, is it QB that
Yeah.
failed, and then Roku bought them?
yeah.
Brought back Reno 911 for really short episodes. They were like maybe 9 minutes long. But
Right.
what I loved about it was like you start up the first episode and it's like they've just not missed a beat. There's no explanation, nothing. They've just been in Reno all this time and they're just still doing their thing. And so I think with the success of that, Paramount Plus has an exclusive movie. It's like maybe 80 minutes. Reno 911: The Hunt for QAnon. And it's fine. I think the show is actually a little better. And this happened with the first Reno movie too, where they go to Miami.
Yeah.
It's like that show really functions in short bursts and not a long extended story. But if you want something just like you can have on in the background and chuckle at, it's worth watching.
So you're saying don't take the gang out of Reno?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's in the name, so so I watched that, and then I watched I was going through kind of sorting some stuff, and I found my Blu-ray for the movie Paul from 2009 with oh my god, I just blanked on their names.
Simon Pegg
and
Seth
Rogen?
Nick
Seth
Rogen.
Rogen.
well
Nick
Rogen's the
Frost.
voice of Paul, and then
Nick Frost.
Nick Frost.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sir
Kristen
Nicholas
Wiig.
Frost.
Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
Kristen Wiig is in
Oh,
it.
and Jason Bates.
Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
Bateman. Jason Bates.
My brother had given this to me like, oh my god, ages ago, and I was like, all right, well, you know what, I'm bored and not feeling
I
well.
saw it in the theater.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
It's fine. It's not. I think for some reason Seth Rogen always turned me off it to some degree, but he's great in it. He's really good.
Oh yeah.
He's not doing his normal kind of Seth Rogen shtick.
Well, there's a lot of pot in there.
There's what?
There's a lot of pot jokes in there. So
Well, I mean, he's an alien come to Earth. He wants to experience the good things here.
Yeah. But it's just good, dumb fun. My like halfway through, my wife just came over and sat down. We just finished watching it, because it was just like, you can't go wrong with Pegg and Frost. They're always a good team. So
Yeah.
they were definitely like at this point in time, they were very hot coming off of all the stuff they were doing together, right?
I was listening to a podcast. I think it was Nick Frost on Inside You with Michael Rosenbaum. And he's talking about like when him and Peg were really young, they'd shared like a flat, and they used to play pull tricks on each other. And then one night they're trying to sleep, and Simon Pegg just being a total dick, just kicks him right out of bed where you hear this thud. And he's like, "What the hell?"
Oh man, I do love them. I still think their best pairing is in Spaced. They both.
That's an awesome show.
Yeah, well, I think because Peg in particular kind of plays against type in that show, even though it's like his first role. So I don't know, but anyway, I mean that's all I've been doing and working. That's it. Those three things.
Man, how do you work with that crap?
I just sort of persevered. It really wasn't too bad. It was bad Friday, like last weekend, which is why I was not at the show. It was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then by Monday, I was fine, except for this, So
Any idea how you got it, or
Wait,
from
your
being on
face?
campus, or
this face that you guys have all come to know and love, ruined by
Oh
COVID.
no, that's a moneymaker.
Chiseled jaw gone, cleft
lose
chin
it.
gone. It's
Lose-
hair
lose-
gone.
We're gonna lose all the Patreons.
Yeah, exactly. It was me. So
If you don't know, our Patreon is full of just headshots of Josh.
each tier is just more headshots.
Yeah.
But
To the
No, it
full
was-
never nude tier.
yeah, just me in the shower crying. But that's a little too personal. You have to go to my super secret site for that.
Your OnlyFans?
Yes, exactly. But no, it was just my daughter. She came home with it from school.
oh, okay.
And then it just moved. made its way through the house. I was the last one to get it. So,
Oh man.
yeah.
Well, we're glad you're back. We're glad you're feeling better, and we're glad
Thank
you were vaccinated. So you guys
Vaccinated
you know,
and boosted. And now with this, I'm hearing I'm good for like 6 months. I'm just going to
fucking
go
invincible.
downtown.
Wow,
lick
what a great
Oregon.
virus.
Cool. Well, Clay, let's go to yours since it doesn't seem as long, and then Kyle and I have a lot of stuff in common, so we'll do.
That works
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been able to read too much, but I did catch the season 3 of Joe Pera on Adult Swim. Do any of y'all watch Joe Pera?
No.
So-
Okay. And who's Joe Pera? Honestly, I don't.
My buddies on this podcast I was talking about earlier, like
Yeah.
they're obsessed with it. There's a bunch of them that they're like my buddy Nick. He's obsessed with it. He's always putting clips, and I'm like, nah, this is not for me. I'm sorry, dude. I'm glad you guys enjoy it though.
It is Mr. Rogers for adults.
Interesting.
Oh.
It is, but it's got like a real dark edge to the humor, so it will come out of nowhere. But season 3 dropped, and Joe Pera is he's a guy that's talking to you during his life, but no one really recognizes that you're there except for one other person in season 2. They do a changeover, which is kind of interesting. It's very much like when in Scrubs when JD would have his voiceovers,
Mhm.
and then somebody, or I think at one point they had somebody else take over the voiceover in season 9. They have somebody take over voice in a couple of episodes in season 2, and it deals with like real world issues, but a lot of it is very like low key. Joe Pera is like a 30-year-old man who acts like an 85-year-old man.
This sounds more like when Eddie Murphy would do Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Hey, neighbors.
Yeah.
Well, he's got like a cast around him of like funny people. Joe Firestone is his girlfriend, his producers, his neighbor that lives across the street. So it's like a very close knit crew that works on the show. But it's very, I mean, like each episode is Joe Pera. And if I can recommend any episode to you, Joe Pera reads the church announcements. They're like 11 minutes long, and that is my favorite episode, and I will watch it over and over again because it just brings me joy.
Cool.
And so none of you have ever seen him?
No. You sold me though. I got to track this down.
Track down Joe Pera, season 3. Season 3 is very interesting because it deals with he's dating someone, and she's dealing with a lot of anxiety. So he's trying to help her cope a lot of the times. It's kind of funny because he starts to date a woman named Sarah Connor,
Of course.
who's a
What?
prepper.
Well, of course, with that name, you have to be.
So and his best friend his name is Gene, and he used to be one of the lead cameramen on the Seth Meyers show, and he actually stole him from Seth Meyers. I heard an interview, and he said, "Yeah, you took Gene from me. He was like the cameraman. Now he's like your best friend on this show." And so him and Gene have activities, and they go out, and it's slice of life with like a dark edge to it.
And what's this on again?
Adult Swim.
Okay.
You can find season 1 and 2, I believe, on HBO Max.
Yeah, HBO Max is where I watch.
And then the rest of it, you could just watch on Adult Swim on their website, because I think they let you watch stuff for free if it's airing, or they have some stuff for free.
But it's great
Cool.
background music, or great background like Josh has. It has
Nice.
little sly jokes in it, but I mean, I rewatched all 3 seasons again yesterday because they're like 11-minute episodes.
I'm still waiting for our people to send us the 10 Easter eggs that Josh is hiding in his bookshelf.
Yeah. There's a lot there, let me tell you.
The other documentary the other show I watched was Our Towns, a documentary on HBO Max from 2 people who had traveled the U.S. And had done kind of documenting what small towns were like. They took a film crew and hit 8 of those towns, and this is pre-pandemic, and these are some of the worst hit economic towns in America, and it shows how they tackle the problems they have and recover. Like, what are they doing and it's really good. It just shows like real people trying to deal with the problems they have, and from economic to drug addiction. It sounds heavy, but they hit all these towns, and a lot of them have answers, and it's just real people dealing with what's going on. And it's scary because it's pre-pandemic, so it's you see everyone working so well to do things, and know that when that hits, it hit them hard.
Yeah.
And then I read Strange Adventures.
All right. Which we'll definitely cover a little bit more later in the show. Okay. Kyle, go ahead, kick us off, and then I'll take over once you're.
Okay. Let's see. Notes. Of course, one out of you're going to be talking about X Lives of Wolverine #1.
Yeah. Well, 10 Lives of Wolverine.
Oh yeah. Okay. Still, I didn't mess it up.
This again? I have to remember X is also a Roman numeral.
I know. That's
Dude,
oh, God.
Josh, let me tell you, this book.
It might be worth watching. It starts up with like it's sort of Wolverine in the past, and basically the premise is you come to find out that the legacy of Omega Red has been going on for a long time. That's the best way to put it. And it's just Wolverine. I don't know why, but he goes with Jean and Xavier down in the depths of Krakoa, and he's about to put one of the X helmets on that Xavier wears. And you don't know. I don't know if they're going to try to go back into his life or what's going on. But it's just I don't know. I'm willing to read a couple more, but I want to see where this goes at the moment.
If you've been reading the Wolverine ongoing, you know a little bit that Omega Red's been all over the place with Wolverine.
Yeah.
Also, I've been working on the preview for next week's. So for when we put out a video, because I don't know if it's going to be weekly, but there's going to be like an 10 Lives of Wolverine and a 10 Deaths of Wolverine book, like every, 1 and 1, kind of like how they did Hoxpox. So on the next one has a little bit of Inferno follow-up. So if you read the Inferno book, yeah, I know, because I was putting together the preview for the review, and I was like, oh,
No.
You already had me, and now I'm back. And so if that's what you're into, you're gonna enjoy
it. Let's see. Also, there was okay. So let me go keep on the comic books. There was I've been actually went back. I'm on a site that had a whole bunch of the issues, but I don't know why. But I kind of got this hankering going back and reading some old Amazing Spider-Man, like issues between 253 and 295. So back right after he had kind of just lost his symbiote suit, it was the emergence of Hobgoblin. He's going through, there's little short stints of where basically he takes on, there's a 2-issue crossover where he takes on a Fire Lord and beats the hell out of him. It's the gang war, and it's right where he is about to ask Mary Jane to marry him. So it's just like this area kind of Spider-Man that I was sort of reading, but I think it was kind of, I don't know, it was fun because he wasn't married yet. He's still living in a crummy down apartment. His landlord is always harassing. Where's my money? Where's my rent check? He can't seem to get ends to meet. It's Spider-Man still just being a typical flawed human being, but it just can't seem to get ahead. But he's still putting his life on the line for people in New York City. And it's a fun comic book read because it's back when comic books were actually comic books, in my opinion. Let's see. There's also I read this one was fun. Silver Surfer Rebirth #1.
Yeah.
Art by Ron Lim, story by Ron Mars. Cannot be, and it starts off with what do you call it? Genus Vell, early Genus Vell, and then kind of goes into the Marvel, and it's just like, okay, this is a fun book. I haven't read a Silver Surfer story like this in a long time. So
yeah, so it looks like from what I was reading is that they wanted to do a follow-up story, because I also read this. There's a video on our channel if y'all want to go check it out. They still had more stories after the run ended, like they weren't done telling stories. So this takes place back when Ron Lim and Ron Mars were doing their run back in, I don't know, the 90s or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring this up when you talked about Spider-Man, but I didn't have enough time. But
yeah, I love that. Look at your rent check. Yeah, but no, technically I think Silver Surfer #1 started in the late 80s and it kind of ran into, it kind of helped launch what we, bringing back Thanos, started Infinity Gauntlet. It's like it had its heyday in the Marvel history. So it's a fun book.
Yeah, the premise is somebody has the reality gem or stone or whatever they call it at the time.
Yeah.
And he needs to figure out what's going on because it keeps bringing up people that he thought were dead or not around anymore. So
he's like, so basically, he goes to help Genusville save a Kree warship that's about to be sucked into, I can't remember, a sun or a black hole, and they're flying along, on this planet, and this reality wave hits, and it goes from Genusville into Marvel, and then they're attacking an invasion force of the Skrulls on this planet, and so it's just like, okay, this is the Marvel I miss.
It's cool, and it's only like 5 issues, so like, if you want to get a Silver Surfer.
Also read She-Hulk #1, which is bringing back, Jennifer Walters is now back from being, the Hulk version of She-Hulk in Avengers to where she's now back to being a lawyer. She can transform when she wants to. And it starts off with Titania trying to start a fight with her in the middle of New York City. And it's just a lot of fun. And then it also brings back a guest cameo back from the dead in the very end.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Did you read how she changed from the Savage Hulk?
Yes, yeah.
She-Hulk to what happened there? Because I missed that somewhere. That was probably in the Avengers book.
Basically, when the I guess the God, I'm blanking out with their team. The Russian guard. I can't remember
White Guard. Is it White Guard?
Might be I can't remember. Whatever the Russian Avengers team, they took her and were trying to make her into her own, like their own version of She-Hulk. She got over radiated, and so basically, when they get her back into the celestial body Avengers Tower. She ends up able to go down, like I guess, into the snow or the core and kind of burn out her gamma radiation to where she basically gains control of herself again. So she's no longer this huge gamma bomb anymore. She's not, and like, in her head she can speak normally, but when she talks, it's typically like the original Hulk. And so now she's actually back to be. She's one of the best things I love. Is she's on her way to a new job as a lawyer. And Titania starts to fight with her. And she goes, "Hold on a second." He's like, "What are you doing? Wait, you think I'm actually going to fight you in my last good dress?" And she goes, "You can't fight me like that. Are you kidding me? I fought you in less." And she just mutates into the Hulk. She-Hulk. She does it in like her top and a pair of panties.
I want to see her in court argue as Hulk with that voice. Then
I love that everyone. I mean, I guess everyone knows she's kind of had it rough. So like, multiple people offer her money. Like, do you need a loan?
Do you need
a loan? Even Titania, after their fight, she's like, "I can lend you some money if you need it." It's really good.
Who's writing that book?
Yeah.
I'll find out in a sec. Hold on.
Yeah,
I have it here.
I'll let him go. Been doing some TV watching. Of course, one of my all-time favorite shows has got like I think a good chunk of their seasons on Hulu now. Blue Bloods. So I've been rewatching episodes of Blue Blood.
Shout out, Adrian. It's Rainbow Rowell is writing the She-Hulk book.
Okay. Anybody who knows I'm a huge fan of like the live-action Japanese stuff. Apparently, the live-action Japanese channel Tokusatsu has a whole bunch of shows on Tubi now. So I've been going back and rewatching 2002's Kamen Rider Ryuki, and then one of the more latest ones, Kamen Rider 01 on there. So that's been a lot of fun. And then what else do I have? Also Superman and Lois episode '2, and How I Met Your Father episodes 1 and 2, which I thought were pretty cool.
So when I did our review for the first season for the second episode, I was like, "Fucking Kyle nailed it on the last show," because you said who it was going to be.
I was like, they almost showed.
They haven't confirmed anything, but like, I mean, the way that they put up the suit or whatever the thing, it's like.
Well, and the way you hear him in the background, that's not a typical normal person. That's a monster who's trying to get free.
Yeah, so it's really good. It's so incredible how good this show is.
I know.
I can't believe it.
I hate to say it, but like I've just kind of fallen out on all the other DC shows. The only two that really are keeping me going are Superman and Lois and Stargirl. I'll be straight up honest.
Yeah. And I haven't even watched season 2 of Stargirl.
We were so excited.
You need to get on so we can talk about Stargirl season 2.
Okay.
I've been the only one who's watching. It's been like 6 months now.
All right. Well, we'll throw it on the calendar.
All right.
Yeah, we definitely need to because we were so excited after we covered so much of Stargirl season 1.
And they almost pretty much formed the Infinity Incorporated. I mean, we get this is all Infinity Incorporated stuff we get in this season. It's like, why are you guys not watching it with me? And then I think the Lois. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, that's pretty much. And then I just been watching, kind of rewatching some stuff, and then other stuff I watched. We're going to talk about here in a little bit.
All right, cool. Well, I want to show you guys my comics so you can see the covers I picked up too. Because there was She-Hulk had so many covers this week.
Of course. Yeah. And how many variants did you buy?
Just one.
Okay.
I love the original one, but I had to get the Adam Hughes cover.
Oh, okay. That's allowed.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I love Adam Hughes on like when he does stuff like that. Then we got Silk. Silk is back
I need to read that.
Oh,
for
cool.
another miniseries. I love Silk. Great art. She's kind of like a because she was in the bunker for so long. She doesn't know technology, and I kind of love the way they write that. I picked up my boy Tim Drake's workout variant for the Robbins book.
Nice. That's
Um,
awesome.
and then Nightwing, which is really good.
I did read that.
Pick
That
up
was actually
Nightwing.
really fun.
Yeah.
They basically reformed the Teen Titans in this issue.
Oh my god, dude! When they showed up, I was like, Tom
Oh,
Taylor
and-
just knows how
Yeah,
to bring
and
people in.
it's not like it's the new Teen Titans. Marv Wolf and George
Yeah.
Perez's new Teen Titans.
Mhm.
They just come together and it's like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, I picked. This is the cover. Well, one of the covers I picked up for 10 Lives of Wolverine. This week I should get the other half. Oh, this half right here. So I'll show y'all next week. The one book that I was a little disappointed in, and I'll give it another shot, was this one, the Ben Reilly Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
is that
think it's
number one came out.
yeah. So
Okay.
DeMatteis is back writing it, but I think I'm just not a big Ben Reilly fan.
I like Ben Reilly when he was a Scarlet Spider, not when he's Spider-Man.
Yeah. I think that's my problem with it, that I'm just not a Ben Reilly fan.
Well, he's also
Um,
not the same Ben Reilly. I mean, back when they did the original Ben Reilly, he was typically he was Peter, but as Ben Reilly, he was still like kind of down on his own. You know, now he's like, you know, he's the official Spider-Man for this huge corporation. He's kind of got like this
and
pompous attitude. It's not fun.
this story is supposed to take place like in the mid, like it's supposed to take place after the Clone Saga, so it's not with the current
Oh.
stuff.
Okay.
But even then, like I haven't read the Clone Saga in a million years, so I don't remember like
He wasn't.
What the fuck's
It
going
wasn't
on?
horrible. I didn't want him as Spider-Man then, but he wasn't as bad of. He wasn't as annoying as he is right now in
Yeah.
the comic books, in my opinion.
here I forgot. There's no way I'm not talking about this. The Batman book, the new one that came out, Batman the Night.
Okay.
It's definitely like an origin story, but not like usually we either get like, oh, his parents died and then he went off to train. This is like what happens immediately, like right after that. Like I don't know, for some reason books don't normally cover that of
What, him as a
Bruce just
kid?
him being like a kid or an angry teenager, like, you know. Obviously Donny Cates.
Didn't they already do that in Gotham?
Yeah, they did. So now they're finally doing it in the comics. The Hulk book's really cool. Donny Cates. Keeps
What issue is
kicking
that?
ass. This is number 3.
Okay, I was going to say I haven't been to my shop, but I hadn't seen that cover.
Yeah,
I only have
and
the
then
first
just
2.
this is the Silver Surfer I picked up
Yeah.
for the Rebirth. As much as I like the original one, I can't not.
Nah,
give
I have to stay with Ron Lim. He is my
Yeah.
quintessential Star Lord. Jesus, Silver Surfer artist.
Yeah. Oh, for many people he is. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, that's enough of the highlight on me. Yeah. So that was all the comics. You can, if you want to hear more of me talking about them, you can check out our channel. I reviewed a lot of books this week because there was so much good stuff. Just too
Yeah.
many. Next week, not as many. So there's gonna be less videos. I'll tell you that right
But
now.
there's an important one next
There
week.
is.
It's
There
on
is
both of our
It's on
recommendations at the end. So
Cool. And I emailed Image because they didn't send it to me. They had to request it. So we'll see if I can. We'll see if we can read it ahead of time. I also watched Nobody. It finally hit HBO Max.
HBO
That's
Max.
the Bob
Which one's
Odenkirk movie.
Which was that?
Bob Odenkirk. He's kind of like it.
It's-
It seems like John Wick, but
I
it's
was gonna
really
say
not.
it's him as John Wick. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
It looks
it's really
great.
good.
I'm excited to watch it.
It's a lot of fun. I just had a lot of fun with it. Bob Odenkirk. He's just really good. Like you know.
I
And
feel,
then
I feel like they missed an opportunity to call that movie Bob Odenwick.
Sorry.
Thank you. I'll be here all night. All right. I'm out.
let's see. Kick off the show. Permanently banned. Okay.
Mhm.
I also
Wait. That mean we can bring Adrian back?
Adrian, there's
That's when
plenty of
Kyle
room.
remembers Adrian.
Yeah, there's plenty of
Yes,
room.
exactly. Yeah.
I only have a spot for 3 people in my head, not 4.
Got it.
Okay.
I also watch on Clay's recommendation. I finally watched The Summit of the Gods on Netflix.
Yeah, and
It's good. It's a little sad.
it's
But
intense.
yeah, it's good though. Really good. I really enjoyed it. I also watched the Report with Adam Driver. It's one of those political movies about when they did the report about the CIA torturing people in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I mean, the subject matter is grim, but Adam Driver's really good in it, and they have a lot of really good actors in it, so it's fine. You can watch it if you have Amazon Prime. I made a list of all the Adam Driver's movie I watched, and I saw that I hadn't seen that. I was like, I feels like something I should have watched. It's pretty recent, so I wanted to get that off my list. Like Kyle mentioned, I also watched How I Met Your Father episodes 1 and 2 on Hulu.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Like overall, I watched all of How I Met Your Mother, and it was fun.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the show. I didn't start watching it like when it first started. Tried watching a couple episodes, and just at the time, I just didn't jump on the bandwagon.
I watched it from the beginning and enjoyed it, but it always seemed like we kind of knew where it was going. And then when it got to the point where it had to reveal the mother, it was kind of clusterfucked at the end. But I mean, the journey was the fun part. I mean, the jokes, the history. I mean, you've got like that ran for what, 9 years?
9 or 10.
9 seasons, yeah, I think so.
I know,
yeah.
They do a really interesting thing here where Kim Cattrall plays older Hilary Duff, but they don't show you the kid because that way you don't know. Like in the first one, you knew Ted is white and the kids are white, so the mom's most likely white. In this one, they don't show you the kid, so you don't know because they present multiple people that that
a possible love interest could be black, and so you're not really sure what direction they're going.
That's interesting.
I do love they did tie it back into the original series because apparently 2 of the main cast members are roommates, and they basically they said, "Yeah, we got this apartment house from some old lady, some old married couple off of Craigslist." So it's the original apartment from the original series.
Oh, okay. Well, I was wondering how they were going to tie it together. So
yeah, it's literally in a Marshall's apartment that they're in, at least one of the locations. So it's pretty interesting. I'm gonna keep watching it. I mean, it's 20 minutes and like, like I said,
I'll be right back.
All right.
I saw it in the background.
And I love sitcoms, so like
there are some sitcoms that right now I like, but I think we lost anything we have now. I don't think sitcoms are what they used to be. I think that How I Met Your Mother and we're sort of from that lost this is my opinion, but when I think sitcoms were in their last generation when they were really sitcoms. I mean, stuff we grew up watching in the 80s, mid 90s. I think kind of like that early aughts, How I Met Your Mother, Big Bang Theory, kind of that was like when the last good feel. And I think this has that kind of old style feel, a sitcom for me.
I totally missed the comments in the chat. Hey, Mike.
I saw that. I was laughing.
Why are X-Men books doing? Because they're educational.
No, I'm done because I can't do math. I'm done trying to calculate all the books I need to read.
Yeah, it's I love throwing statistics and math in my comic book reading. I also finished watching a basketball anime called Kuroko no Basket.
I know that one. I haven't watched it, but
it's like 3 seasons. It's on Netflix. It's really interesting, and it goes by. I mean, it went by pretty fast because each season is like 26 episodes, and I watched it in a couple of weeks.
Oh wow!
So yeah, I hadn't in a while, but it was good.
Okay, that's funny. That's funny.
Does that mean Wolverine's life is circular?
That's right. That should be the book. That should be the name of the book for Mora.
Watch the book be tied to Mora because it's going to be every life he's had ever since she dies and comes back.
Uh-oh, you're muted.
Sorry, I muted to cough. Yeah, more equations in my books. Although, no, don't give me like full letters to read in between pages though.
I was just thinking that.
I'm torn on that from the books. That kind of gets, I don't know.
Yeah, Hickman and the team have been doing that. Like they'll do
since day
one. Some of them are funny, like the logs and the anything with Sinister, like Sinister bar chat or like the gossip. Yeah, that's good. Keep it in. Mike, I really enjoyed Kuroko's basketball. It's really fun. I was looking for another sports anime because they refused to dub the last season of Haikyuu.
If you haven't watched it, I've only watched the first couple episodes, but I think I brought it up on the show. It's a bicycling one on Netflix.
No, Okay.
I gotta find the name, but it deals with basically two high schoolers or junior high schoolers. Their first year into this new school. One is a competitive cycler who basically got second place. He's trying to become a professional, and the other one is about an otaku who basically rides his mom, I guess his mom's old bike from the school to Akihabara every day, like it was an hour bike ride. They can't believe he actually does this just to save his money so he can get little capsule toys for us because he's a huge anime fan. So and they end up both joining the cycling team. It's actually kind of fun. So they
Is it Moomin? What's his name? Moomin Rider from One Moon Punch.
I don't. No.
Never. Okay.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but no.
All right, and then the last thing I forgot, but I'm glad I'm glad I went last because it's a really fun thing. I watched The Righteous Gemstone season 2. It's on HBO Max. It's a show with what's Danny McBride, John Goodman,
Adam Devine.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that it, Kyle?
What? Yeah,
Yo Sugar Pedal.
Yeah, that's it.
Yo Mushi Pedal.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
cool.
it, yeah.
I'll keep it in.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, see, Mike, he knows Moomin Rider.
Was it the same guy that did it, or
No, Moomin Rider is a character from a different thing.
oh, from one
He's
man.
a superhero that rides a bicycle.
Okay, all right, never mind.
Is God, I'm really dating myself here. Is he Monty Python's bicycle repairman?
Oh,
Have you
Lord.
guys ever seen that sketch?
Yes. Might be before Daniel's
you're
time,
dating
but
yourself.
Daniel's
With old
confused.
people.
Daniel's just like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
see,
good
Daniel,
stuff.
back in the 70s and 80s, there was this group together called Monty Python. They used to make British comedy. I'll take it.
We make American comedy in this podcast right here.
Have you ever seen Benny Hill?
I've heard the music.
Yeah, you've heard Yakety Sax, but do you know what Benny Hill is?
It's a cop show. I don't know.
No. Jesus.
Oh, that's amazing. Yes, actually, wait. Everyone convinced Daniel it's a cop show. So
Is it like cops, but over there?
Benny Hill's just chasing like bikini-clad women around.
Benny Hill is a British comedian who basically had his own what do you call it, like his own comedy show. It was
it was a sketch comedy show.
sketch comedy show.
But they had a little leeway with having scantily clad women on TV in England.
Yeah. See, thank you. Chat's coming to my rescue.
Just think of like their own SNL, SCTV, laughing, but all done by one guy.
Yeah.
They always do. The abuse on millennials on this channel is too damn high. Although, no, wait, Kyle's on my side, right? You're a millennial.
But we're gonna have an
I don't
episode
mind
where
it.
we bring old stuff that's good and see if you've ever seen it.
Why?
Hey,
I already have.
Well, no, I'm talking
Isn't
about
that
Daniel's
I watched-
watching.
last week
isn't
I
that
watched
how we got
two movies.
Daniel to watch Pulp Fiction?
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. What did you watch, Daniel? I want to know this.
Oh, last week I watched two movies from the 70s and prior.
What?
I watched
That's
Planet of
right.
the Apes,
Yep.
and
Okay,
I watched
credit.
that.
Okay.
I watched that sorcerer movie with the guy from Jaws. That's not Richard Dreyfuss.
What?
It's a movie about four guys having to move dynamite through Colombia.
Oh, Roy Scheider?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Kids react.
Wait, no, when he said that, I think he said the guy who played Jaws. I'm thinking like Lurch from the fucking Addams Family, like James.
No,
Oh, no.
The not Richard Dreyfuss. The guy that says we're gonna need a bigger boat. The guy
Sheriff.
from
I think he was the sheriff,
I'm just
right?
trying to say
No,
his
Quinn.
Roy
name.
Schneider was the sheriff.
So you need Quinn?
Quinn.
Yeah.
No, wait, Quinn. So who was in the film? Now I'm curious. Was it Richard
So
Dreyfuss,
he's
Roy
the
Schneider?
he's the only one I know. Here, I'll pull up a picture of the movie.
Yeah, but I'm just curious which character were you talking about?
It's the character's Quinn. It's Roy
Oh.
Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, and Quinn is played by
Oh, you're right. It's not Roy Scheider. It's hang on.
who plays Quinn?
I don't remember that guy's. I know.
I thought you guys knew all this shit. What do I have you in this podcast for?
Hang on.
Do you know how many drugs are in my system right now?
Is it
Do you know how
it's,
many drugs are in my system? They were all prescribed by my doctor, though.
Robert Shaw.
Yes.
That's it. Okay.
Damn it.
This is the movie I watched. It's based on a book called Wages of Fear. These four guys have to transport this dynamite through Colombia, but like it's old dynamite, so like nitroglycerin is formed, and it's
Oh,
very
Lord.
volatile. It's really good. It's a really good movie. I watched it for my body's. My friend has a podcast called "They Made Another One," where they talk about reboots and sequels. So this is kind of a reboot of this because they already made a movie called Wages of Fear, and it's directed by the guy that did The Exorcist. What's his name?
Oh wow, really?
Friedkin?
Okay.
William
Yeah.
Friedkin?
Which led me to now want to watch that movie Hunted with Benicio del Toro and Tommy Lee Jones about like I think Benicio's like a rogue, like I don't know, Delta Force dude or something, and he's being chased down by his mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I got the chat on my side.
I do miss the days when movie posters put the title of the movie in quotes. So
Well, this one's kind of misleading because which one's the movie title? The quotes. Okay, yeah. Never mind, I didn't hear you.
Yeah. So you know, I didn't.
All right.
I didn't hear
you
you.
and all my
everyone.
students, man. You and all my
Get
students.
him,
let me tell you.
get him, Danny.
Yeah, right. See, this is
You tell
great.
him- you
This
tell
is
him,
great
Steve Bob.
preparation for class.
Or Steve Dave. God damn it.
This is great preparation for your class tomorrow, Josh.
Yes, that's true. I need the ribbing.
What else should we ask you questions not about what we're talking about? What else do your students do? Can I?
What?
Do we ask you questions about anything else but what you're talking about?
There is that. There's also I ask them a question and there's just crickets. I use what a former student of mine described as the Yoda silence. I'm very good at just asking a question and just very slowly sipping my coffee until someone responds.
But you know that's preparation for the real world because now that we live in this digital age where we have to meet separately, we'll have meetings and somebody will ask, "Does anybody have anything else? Does anybody have any questions?" And people nobody says no. They just don't say anything.
I know. I taught my first class virtually this week, and that was a little. I love the class I'm teaching, but it just I would ask, did anybody have questions? Just silence for chirping crickets for a few seconds. Like,
yeah, exactly.
All right.
You just draw that stuff out.
Yeah.
You know, everything I learned about teaching, I learned from, The Office and Star Trek. I mean, that's it. You just wait it out. So that's really only a joke for me. You guys are welcome.
So I'm gonna move the Boba Fett and Peacemaker talk to the end since it'll have spoilers, and that way we don't have to dance around it.
Yeah.
Let's just skip to our main topic. Hold on. Let's see if I could do this here. We're gonna be talking about Strange Adventures, but let me put a little hold screen. I don't know. StreamYards gave us music, and I'm like, we're gonna use it. Damn it! Uh oh. Oh, I was taking. Yeah, sorry. There it is. I was taking off the wrong thing. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Strange Adventures by Tom King, Mitch Gerards, and Doc Shaner. We've all read it. Kyle doesn't care. Not that he doesn't want to read the book. He just doesn't care about spoilers.
Time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got too much stuff going on.
It's a man. So listen, as soon as we discovered Tom King, I don't know, a few years ago, whenever that, I think after Mr. Miracle is when he blew up. Like Vision was big.
Vision was the big book for me.
But I think after the success of Mr. Miracle, we're like, oh, this guy could do it more than once.
Yeah.
Right. And then as you go back, like I went back to read his Omega Man run, which was going to be canceled at 6 issues, but then the fans that were reading it
wasn't the one with Kyle Rayner.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was. I forget that was Tom King. That was good.
Yeah, like the fans that were like not a lot. It didn't have the best sales, but the people that were reading it were so vocal.
Yeah.
That they were like, no, you need to finish this book, damn it. so it did get finished. And then now Tom King's been with DC for like pretty much exclusively, like after that one thing with Marvel.
Yeah.
Which Marvel does keep reprinting over and over. So
well, because his run also clearly inspired WandaVision. I mean, it's like it's got a lot of I think impact in the MCU, even though he hasn't done a lot for them.
I don't know that he's the first person to call Vision a toaster, but he's my favorite person to call Vision a toaster.
Yes, absolutely.
But So yeah, we're gonna go into full spoilers for Strange Adventures. If you haven't read it, you've been warned. We do have a thing for that. There we go. Spoiler alert for Strange Adventures. Let's start with Josh. You read it first somehow.
yeah. In what can only be described as Earth B, I read the comic first. So yeah, I was really hyped for this book. I have a weird like soft spot for kind of the pulpy sci-fi quality of Adam Strange.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Tom King. I really like the way that Tom King has this 12-issue structure, but the tone of each of his series are slightly different, right?
Yeah.
So Mr. Miracle was way funnier than I expected. I mean, from a book from Tom King, it was really funny. This was the one, and I remember even, probably through the first half, we all read it like month to month. This was the one that about halfway through, I think all of us are like, something really bad is happening.
Yeah.
And I had incredibly fearful, incredibly fearful theories about what Adam Strange had done.
Mm-hmm.
I am very conflicted about the end of this book, and that's why I've been wanting to talk about it. I am very conflicted about the end of this book. And so, like, we can get to that. We can talk about all of the stuff. Okay. Like the pairing of two different artists representing kind of two different things, I think is brilliant. I mean, it is a really brilliant book. But man, that ending.
All right, Clay. Before I let you get on it, let me talk a little bit about the actual, like, what the premise of the book is.
Yeah.
So, Adam Strange has come back to Earth with his wife Alana, and he's got this book talking about the war with Rann with the Pikes, and how they became to be, how he defeated the Pikes, even though they've never been defeated. And then a murder occurs at after one of his book signings. One of the, I guess it was like a disgruntled fan.
Yeah.
Disgruntled fan is murdered, which opens up an investigation. And Adam Strange, he asked Batman to investigate him. It was this guy.
Yeah.
Wearing a Black Canary shirt. I love Mitch Gerads putting in just shirts of, like, I don't know, things that may not exist, but like we want them as clothing accessories.
Yes, exactly.
So Adam Strange asked Batman to investigate so they can be like an unbiased investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Batman says he's too busy, so he's gonna ask Mr. Terrific to do it.
Typical Batman.
Well, did he say it was kind of a conflict?
Yeah, he said it was kind of a conflict. He said it was a conflict because Adam Strange has been part of the League.
Yeah.
But it's funnier that Batman is too busy.
But it's interesting to find out who he trusts.
Yeah, Batman is busy preparing for his wedding. Little did he know it wasn't gonna happen. Awkward. So yeah, Mr. Terrific is leading this investigation, and then from there, things are uncovered. Mitch Gerads follows everything that happens on Earth. No, well, I guess Mitch Gerads follows the current timeline. He does all the art for that. Doc Shaner does all the flashback art. Because there is one issue where they flip. Yes. The locations that they're drawing.
But another sub theme of this book, and the reason I think again for the two artists, is the disconnect between truth and fiction.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there is very much a sense that what Gerard is drawing is the truth, and what Shaner is drawing is the fiction. And the fiction is well about the fact that it seems to represent the story that Adam Strange told in his autobiography versus what really happened in the world. Right.
So Doc Shaner's here on the left of the screen, and then Mitch Gerads is on the right. So you can kind of see the contrast. Obviously, DC made 2 covers at least for each one of these books, one by Shaner, one by Gerads. And obviously, I bought both covers every time.
Because obviously, yes.
Obviously. But okay, Clay, quick high level thoughts on the book.
Yeah, I'm like Josh. I enjoy kind of pulpy adventure stuff. And the last Adam Strange I read was Andy Diggle and Pascal Ferry's run, which if you love Doc's art in here, I think Pascal Ferry's is fairly close, or at least in that style. But again, pulpy action stuff, which was pretty great. And like all Tom King books, this is what if it was Adam Strange but sad? You know,
Yeah.
because look what he did to Vision. He gave Vision a family, and it murdered somebody. He gave Mr. Miracle. He committed suicide and made it one of his funnier books.
Yeah, exactly. How is that a funny topic? But somehow
Real quick, who did Never mind. I answered my own question. Don't worry about it.
Okay. But going into this was interesting because this was the first time they were showing like war and how it's politicized and used in the media, and these books telling their story. So what happens when it's a self-described hero or someone we've been told is a hero, and he's not? And what are the side effects of war, or the results of war, directly?
Well, and what does it mean to quote unquote win a war, right? So yeah.
Whoops. Now, Kyle, I know you haven't read the book, but can you tell the people watching at home who is Adam Strange?
So Adam Strange is basically a man from Earth who basically he's basically the protector of the planet Ron. So basically what happens is there's this energy beam that I always forget where. I think it may come from Ron, but it's called the Zeta beam. And it's at least back from the 60s and 70s. The Zeta beam would only hit certain times on planet Earth. So he basically had to watch where he had to find out where it was going to hit. Every time the Zeta beam would hit him, he gets transported to Ron, where basically he becomes his protector. He falls in love with like the that's the character. Basically falls in with a guy who I can't remember if he's the king or like the mayor of the main town on Ron.
Yeah.
Basically falls in love with his daughter. They end up having getting married. They have a kid. And basically the problem was the Zeta beam would always wear off after a certain amount of time. So he gets transported back to Earth, and he has to go figure out how to find the next Zeta beam so he can be transported back to Ron. Very influential because he in the comic book, DC comic book history, there was a huge war between Ron and Thanagar, which is where Hawkman and Hawkgirl come from. And there was that fight. And he's just been influential because he's been a major part of the DC fandom, the Justice League and everything since, like I said, like late 60s up until now. And so now this is kind of for a while there, he was able to I think he had enough Zeta beam energy in his system. He was able to stay on Ron. And anybody who knows our love for Starman, there was an issue. Basically, when Starman goes into space to find Will Payton, the other Starman, they end up going to Ron, and basically ends up where basically to save his life, Adam Strange has to wear off some of the Zeta beam. He goes back to Earth and ends up helping Jack Knight save Opal City. So he's played a lot of history in the DC continuity.
Cool.
And he's just a guy with a jetpack, a laser gun, and a red.
He doesn't have any powers. That's
wild. This is it, dude.
Yeah, he's kind of Flash Gordon like.
Yeah, Flash Gordon. Yeah, but the thing I love about the original comic that I feel like Tom King and others are playing with here is there's always this subtext of he's a man of two worlds, right?
Yeah.
So he's Flash Gordon, who when he's not Flash, he's just stupid Earthling archaeologist, right? Like that's his thing, and his whole Earth life is just racing around trying to get back to this planet to find the Zeta beam. I mean, that's
and I'm still pissed off at fucking Sci-Fi because he was that main character in Krypton. They did 2 seasons of Krypton. He was the character.
Oh, that's right, he was.
Oh yeah. Wow.
And season 2 got really good, and then Sci-Fi was like, "Oh, we're canceling the series." Fuck you.
Yeah, he was the one trying to like, I guess, save the future, right?
Yeah, so basically somebody was trying to wipe out Superman's history, and so basically he takes the cape and goes back to warn Superman's grandfather. It's like, you gotta stay on this track because your grandson is going to become one of the greatest superheroes of the 20th century, and he's going to, blah. And it ends up with season 2 where basically like sort of history and Krypton gets rewrote, and Zod becomes like the Superman of Earth, and that's where they leave it. Just you see the statue, supposed to originally Kal-El becomes Zod, and it's just like, oh, come on, you're going to leave us hanging like this bullshit? It's like,
Is he dressed like this in
No,
the
unfortunately, no, he's not.
Well,
damn
then-
it, that's not.
No,
it.
no, no. We might have got
How
him.
do he dressed like this?
You got to
Yeah,
have
so-
that or the helmet,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
at this
true.
point, he is Flash Gordon, but he's also John Carter,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a man out of his place
without the
Tom
super
Roth.
strength.
Right,
Yeah.
because he's in a different place. But in this book, I think Adam has brought more violence than in any other book.
Mhm.
Oh god, yeah. Well, it's Tom King.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're seeing like what war is, and it's violence and death and making deals.
Yeah, like especially because in Rand, like there's many different subcultures of people and like very different. Like it's all very like there's a lot. We meet a lot that I wasn't very familiar with Adam Strange going before this, so like I don't know if any of these characters or races or aliens have been introduced before. So I was just kind of meeting them along with like as Adam Strange would. I do have to say I think my favorite issue was issue 4, where they flip and Mr. Terrific goes to Rand
Yep.
to investigate, to look at the records, and then Adam Strange is stuck on Earth because the Zeta beams ran out, and then he came back, and the struggle for him, and I have a page here, the struggle for him of asking everyone like,
See,
take
right
me
there,
back.
I'm gonna right there. Okay, so that image right there in the middle where he's talking to Hal, guys,
Yeah.
that's pretty much how he's dressed in Krypton.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he
Really?
does have the Detroit Lions hat.
Yeah, he's wearing the hoodie. He goes.
I remember.
That's exactly how he's dressed in Krypton when he goes to meet Superman's grandfather.
And then you see a little cameo here.
Yeah,
Who's that?
It says Tom King.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that's what he looked like. So
Yeah. But yeah, he's. I think he asked Superman first, like, "Hey, can you give me a ride back to Rand?" And Superman, his reasoning is like, "It'll take me a couple of days. I can't leave Earth for a couple of days just to give you a ride." And then he asked Hal to take him because he's a Green Lantern, but Hal's stuck in all the politics of the Green Lantern Corps and the treaties that they have with the Rand and the Pikes and all these aliens.
at this point, doesn't Justice League have boom tube technology? Couldn't they just boom tube to fucking Rand?
I mean, look, all I'm gonna tell you is that he didn't make it to Rand. But man, I love the way Doc Shaner draws.
Yeah.
Superman.
So good.
Yeah, so like his desperation, because his wife and kid are over there left fighting a war
Yeah.
with the rest of the people. So I really like that issue. Like it's the one that got me like, oh, and then things start unraveling more and more. I think the book leads you to believe that whatever mastermind happenings are happening behind the curtain, Alana is kind of the mastermind.
yeah.
I felt like that for a long issues.
She talks him into a lot of stuff. She has she can turn him in the right direction. She knows how to manipulate him and how to get him to do what she needs. I always felt like she was the villain for the first half of the book.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I think that's intentional, right? There is very much a sense of he's kind of the patsy, but the turning point is the moment when everything you've been fearing about what he did to win the war is revealed to Alana, and she has no idea what's being talked about. And at that point, you're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
So-
when Mr. Terrific calls and leaves her a message and leaves her like 3 questions that helped him kind of resolve this. That turn on her character was so good to see that she wasn't running shit.
Yeah,
she was pointing him in directions and he was making bad choices.
right.
Yeah.
His choices has not only affected their family but their planet.
All right, so let's get into the big reveal because I think it happens.
It's like issue 6.
Yeah, it happens after he gets captured by the Pikes, and they they try to do all this like torture brainwashing thing. Which
Are the Pikes the lizard people?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're-
I'm kind of skimming through the series right now as we're talking. I don't
This-
get caught up.
This was so trippy to see this psychedelic artwork in a
Oh,
in a
shit.
DC book, but it is a Black Label book, so
Yeah.
You know, after reading what we're reading in freaking The Human Target, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, go back and read Morrison's Doom Patrol if you want.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
that's
you got
true.
a point
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
Very
I did
true.
start the third season of Doom Patrol. We did start that. That
Oh,
was good.
cool. Yeah, so like it really, and just so you can see the difference on the art, like, you know, Shayna up here and Gerard's like with the more realistic stuff. I don't know. It was just Tom King gets to work with. I don't know how it works with them picking artists or whatever, but he just gets to work with like some of the best people around.
Well, he worked with Mitch on Sheriff of Babylon too, right?
Yep.
So
Was that DC book also, or
And Mr. Miracle.
I think it was
Oh,
a
that's
DC
one of them.
Vertigo.
It was
book?
a Vertigo. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I'm looking at some of the stuff in here, and I did eventually go back and read Mr. Miracle, and this is very reminiscent of like the style of Mr. Miracle, at least art.
Yeah. So one of the artists is the artist from Mr. Miracle.
When I was going to say, didn't Tom King also do that run on Thor?
No.
No, that was
It's,
Jason Aaron, right?
No. Who did the run on Thor where basically he gains like the own powers that he works for Galactus?
Oh,
that's
Donny Cates.
Donny King. I'm sorry. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm getting people mixed up. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that here this is the panel I was looking for.
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, the stuff I don't know how long I couldn't put together how long he was trapped by the Pikes, being held hostage and being like interrogated or whatever.
Yeah.
But man, those were trippy issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you figure out like he made so the Pikes are coming to Earth. That's the whole crux of it. We find out the Pikes are coming to Earth. Not so much to revenge the war, but like because they are conquerors too.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew the Earth was going to be a tough battle, because the Justice League is here and all these, you know, metahumans and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then we find out like he made a deal with the Pikes to help them win the battle on Earth, as long as they would, you know, they have his daughter. So Adam Strange is revealed to be like behind pretty much everything that's going on, and I lost my shit when that reveal happened.
That was wild because he's been a long time hero in the books, and now to turn him into like the ultimate villain that would give up Earth.
Yeah,
Right.
Fuck.
Because to save his family.
right.
And if you remember, way back when I first announced my theory of what he had done, which was basically give his daughter up, like sacrifice her.
Yeah,
It ended up not being as dark as that, but the intent was the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I either use my family to win the war, or I save my family and lose the war. Right? Like those are his options.
Right.
and let me show you the sequence where like kind of things really escalated. So we have Batman here telling Flash, "We need you in Phoenix." So it should Flash obviously it'll take a second,
Yeah.
but they don't send them to save Phoenix. They
Just
send them to figure out how many people perished after the attack, because the Pikes got through, you know, and we don't know how the Pikes. Batman can't figure out. He had like not a perfect plan, but he had a really good plan where there would be no gaps in their defense and stuff. When I got to that page, I put
Was
my
that
iPad down.
Phoenix, Arizona got destroyed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wiped out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flash is just sent there to recover people.
Yep. He's like, "Dad, all I can do is count." That's what he tells the Justice League on their comms. So now you can add this Adam Strange to the list of people that like Hal Jordan that are responsible for a whole city. That's the whole city being destroyed.
Exactly.
You remember Coast City was destroyed when he was Parallax?
Yeah.
No, it was destroyed.
Yeah.
It was destroyed before.
Oh,
That's what turned him into
Coast
Parallax.
City is what turned him into Parallax.
Yeah,
He wasn't able-
Parallax.
It was during the reign of Superman. When Superman coming back, he couldn't stop Mongol from destroying Coast City, and that's what kind of turns him to go steal the energy from the Green Lantern rings to become Parallax.
I still put that on Hal. I'm just kidding.
I think we all do. I think Hal still puts that on Hal. So
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do want to ask though, do you guys think that he turned on Earth before or after he dealt with Hal and Superman?
Wait. Oh,
I think after, because he still had his daughter at that point. He wanted to go back to them.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. I
Yeah.
was trying to remember because nobody would help him, and I thought at that point, did he just turn on Earth?
Right.
Yeah. What now? The interesting thing the book also does is, we as the reader, we can't understand the Pikes.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
They
So
have-
we never know what the deal is. We just
Yeah.
see them both speaking. And
Well, and they have a lot of dialogue, like even
Yeah.
before, like they meet multiple times. We don't know
Yeah.
what the Pikes are saying. And I thought at the end we would get like a reveal of like key panels of them translating or something. They don't really do that. I think
Mhm.
that would have been too on the nose. But we still get all the knowledge from when Batman and Mr. Terrific just learned how to speak Pike,
yeah.
like just by listening to the dude and all the books that he got from Rand. Yeah, his
Batman's translation is probably the funniest in the book.
yeah, I love this whole sequence where they have the Pike dude tied up here, and they're like, "Did you get all that?" Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Wait, which translation, Clay?
Batman speaks it, and you see their reaction is kind of almost mocking him, trying to speak their language.
Oh yeah, I think it was this panel. 'Cause
Yeah.
he says, "Is I Batsman's? Is mine's planet Earth? Attack mine's planet is good not." And then the dude just responds to like, "You damned ignorant animal! I will slice open your children and feast on your women."
Oh,
Holy
man.
shit! Who talks to Batman like that?
And again, I just want to add that is probably the only funny scene in this book. It's really.
It is so dark, and
Yeah.
when the thing that gets me is the scenes when Doc is drawing, so it's a little more animated, and
Mhm.
I mean, I want to say cartoonish in a way, but it's comic book looking, and then he'll just have Adam blow someone's head off,
Yeah.
or just
Yeah.
murder someone in
When
cold
they're
blood.
when they're in the gladiator pits, and he's losing the battle, and then he tricks the dude and just bashes him with the helmet. And you
Yeah,
just see the-
decapitates him,
yeah.
I
and
think
it's all
I think,
in four color glory.
I think the moment that broke me is in the last issue when after all the reveal and everything, it cuts back to Doc's art, and there's just a full page spread of him and Alana like embracing under like the moons of Ron, and it's a beautiful panel, and you're just like, this is the fake, right? Like this is not what this is. It's really really powerful. I mean, it's quite impressive. Should we talk about the ending?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah,
I didn't think that was going to happen. I'll tell you this much.
I didn't either. And
I mean, and what does this do to the history of Adam Strange in DC? I mean, it's Black Label. It's not necessarily continuity,
Yeah.
but god damn, it's a good story.
Yeah, because how do you recover from this? As Adam
Well,
Strange?
you know,
And
and I
we'll
just say nothing's been mentioned in the normal continuity of DC history about Phoenix being destroyed, so I can't help to say this is just its own separate, kind of thing. And Elseworlds, maybe.
Right. I think if anything, if they do take any part of this, is maybe they do make Adam Strange the villain, and now his ex-wife and daughter are gonna be the defenders of Ron.
but okay, so here's where I've got enormous problems, right? And that is ultimately where Alana comes down on is the fiction, right? And she even says there at the end, like, we work so hard to make sure that nobody knows what really happened.
I mean, she's writing his book.
She's writing his book, but she blames Mr. Terrific for seeking the truth.
Yeah.
And the thing that really bugged me, even though they try to explain this away, I still can't, she basically says, you've got to raise my kid because I have to go back to Ron and repair things. And he's like, that's not fair. And I'm like, yeah, that's not fair. But she says, you need her as much as she needs you. Right.
Yeah.
And I just, on one hand, it still feels like Mr. Terrific's being forced to raise a child.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, I will do this, right? I don't know. It really rubbed me the wrong way.
I guess The setup before that, just real quick. They have a fight. Adam Strange and Alana have a fight. She accidentally. Well, I don't know if it's accidental.
No, I don't think
I don't
she
know if it's
accidentally.
accidental. I think
She-
it's intentional.
She shoots and kills Adam Strange.
Yep.
So that's when it comes in the last issue. Like, well, he's dead. Rand's in shambles, so she's got to go back. They go get their kid. They go get the kid from the Pikes. And then now where Josh was talking, like telling Mr. Terrific, you got to raise my child because I got to go.
And we don't know her deal with the Zeta Beam, or if she has any any problems with the Zeta Beam because of who her father is.
Yeah. And I think also the most powerful moment for me at the end is when, after she basically tells Mr. Terrific like what he's gonna do, right? Like, this is what you have to do because you dove into the truth, right? You picked at this scab and you picked at it until you opened the wound. And then she says to him, and it didn't hit me till like the second time I read it. I think the last thing she says to him is, "You never asked how Adam died." And he says, well, he killed himself. And it didn't hit me till the second time I read it that he's Mr. Terrific. He would have found that out, right? So it's like he's also constructing his own fiction around this because he doesn't want the whole truth. And she tells him anyway,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all of this is going to affect their kid the most. So that's what's going to be the outcome of all this trauma, is this child who grows up without a father and now without a mother. And she's just kind of been this political token in this fight of these interstellar beings that's like, hey, it's just one person. I'm just one life.
She's going to become the next generation Mr. Terrific in the new JSA that comes up in DC.
Yeah.
I do now really want a Mr. Terrific this kid story. Like, can we just get a 12-issue maxi series about that?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
They're probably planning it.
I mean, just how Mr. Terrific studies and makes himself better in every issue. You see how he's constantly working on himself. I mean, and you see, and I've always thought of that as like something Batman would do. But this is even like more advanced with his T-spheres, and
they're always like asking him questions and stuff.
Yeah, I loved when he just started putting the makeup on and knew he was getting ready. That was cool.
Getting what we got, knowing having the Mr. Terrific we have now, all the history of comic books, whether it be back like when Robinson started JSA to now, it kind of makes you go back and really just like, I wish they had done more with the character when we had him in Arrow, because we really got a janky version of Mr. Terrific in that series. It was
he was smart, but he wasn't like this level. Like
and the T-Spheres came later. It was like, hey, come on, why couldn't you have? It was Arrow. I wish we got more of that character.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I mean, it was really cool when he put on the jacket on the show.
Yeah.
It was like, oh shit, because the jacket's always cool. Like, fair play. I love it. I love that.
And I liked how they explained the story on Flash, but I would love to see a big screen version of Mr. Terrific. Do you guys have casting ideas?
I was thinking this, but like when you're talking about the casting, I just remember a book I actually enjoyed was, you remember the Terrifics? It was him, Plastic Man, Metamorph, and their own version of Fantastic Four. That was a fun book.
That was so fun because that was DC shot at Marvel because they weren't putting Fantastic Four out.
Exactly.
Because the movie was bombing and they were screwing everything up. So DC goes, hey, we'll do our own FF.
They didn't have Fantastic Four for like 3 years. It was weird.
Well, I don't know if we have enough actors who do cross-platform, but cross. I think. What about Falcon? Adrian, or is that the actor's name? Or?
He's Captain America now.
Yeah, but
I don't think.
I've got one.
Who?
The actor that played Power Man.
Oh,
he's on Evil right now.
He's on Evil, yeah. But
he's fighting the devil.
He's got that very centered calmness. I think that would work well. If I didn't have to worry about age or anything, Jeffrey Wright. I love Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright is great.
Love for him.
No, he should be. He should be but that's not a DC
No.
character.
Have a Mr. Terrific film and it be from Mr. Terrific telling a story about his younger self. Have him be the older
That's good. That's really good. Yeah.
Like the old Indiana Jones TV.
Yes,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, my casting is Sterling K. Brown.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I know that name. Who?
Yeah,
He's from This Is Us.
Oh, he's an older gentleman though. He's been in a couple
he was in a movie called Hotel Artemis. Check that out.
Well, he was also in a TV series called Army Wives.
Yeah, he is.
Oh wow.
My pick is I forget his name.
An older
He played Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton.
Wait, he played who?
Dr. Dre, and he was also in Kong Skull Island. I guess they both were. It's confusing because both Eazy and Dr. Dre were both in Kong Skull Island.
What about what Michael B. Jordan?
I thought Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, I had that.
He's already gonna be Superman.
Yeah.
Azad Superman doesn't mean he couldn't play Mr. Terrific in another universe. It's they're already opening the multiverse.
Yeah, I know it's the multiverse, but man, you got a lot of actors you could cast.
Sure.
we keep staying in the top five.
Well,
I mean, because I'm surprised no one said Idris Elba.
He's too old.
He's going to be Bond next anyway.
I was actually thinking Glover. God, wow.
Donald Glover?
Danny Glover?
Danny Glover.
Not Danny Glover, the other Glover.
I'm too old for
Donald
this
Glover. No, Danny Glover would be a great old Mr. Terrific telling.
He would.
Telling
Donald Glover, maybe Donald Glover. I can maybe see that.
Donald Glover.
All right. Before we get into the multiverse,
he pulled up the suave Orlando Calrissian. Maybe he could pull Mr. Terrific.
He is younger Orlando Calrissian. I will. This is a hill I will die on. He is amazing.
He's great.
I'm going to stand with Sterling K. Brown as the perfect Mr. Terrific.
I gotta look this guy up.
All right.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on the book? I think overall, I think everybody really enjoyed it. Kyle, we definitely recommend you, even though you already know what happened.
No, I've been going through the issues, kind of like we've been talking, kind of looking at this. This is really kind of cool.
I think it's got a lot. So Tom King does this thing where there's a lot of little like callbacks to older books. So I think somebody like you that's read a bunch of stuff like would appreciate.
I'll say that this is a little bit easier to read than Mr. Miracle. Mr. Miracle was really kind of, and at least what I've gone through was a little more mental, like just kind of. And this one, it's mental, but it's not like it's not. It's not psychotic kind of mental what Mr. Miracle was dealing with. This is more just kind of feeling like it's a mystery you're trying to break down.
It's like a whodunit, but with less characters.
Yeah, this was cinematic. Mr. Miracle was more mental and in your head. So you had smaller panels. You had tiny couch with who sat on the couch that looked so funny? Dark Side.
Oh, right. Yeah.
In here you have cinematic panels. You're doing every page seemed to be like 3-panel layouts with huge action sequences.
Yeah. There's a lot, and there's a lot of alien races that I'm sure you've seen before in other books, in other Adam Strange books.
And I love Doc's take on them.
We better get a Mr. Terrific series. I mean, you can't just do this now and not
I would hope so.
And he was in the Secret History of the DC Universe, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, give us a Mr. Terrific series. We all love him. Come on.
Yeah.
I think he did have a 4-issue miniseries like a few years ago, but I don't remember who the writer was on it. Because I wanted to pick it up, but I think it was the writer that turned me off.
Uh-oh.
Well, if I didn't already have, like, I would say tell people, if you want to know more about Mr. Terrific, if I didn't already have a recommendation, I would say read the Terrifics, because that book was just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I'll second that. Cool. Well, we maybe in the future we'll do Rorschach, because I read that and it's really good.
Oh, that's gonna be a hard one.
I think you're gonna like it.
I'm not a fan of the character or the Watchmen. That's why it's gonna be a hard read.
But it's so different. It's
so removed from that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It really deals with more history, Ditko. I mean, if you know your comic book history and the people who created stuff,
that's why I think
this is what really pulls you in.
I will try. It's just I was with a friend last week, and we started talking about like older characters, and we got into the Ditko characters, and we were really talking about Blue Beetle, the Question, and stuff like that. So what would be the influence for Watchmen? And that's where I kept talking. It's like I would love to work. That would be perfect. A series of Vic Savage Question. Maybe I think it would be an interesting, like Tom King doing the Question.
Yeah, I know Jeff Lemire did one recently, but I don't think it was as well received.
Oh, come on.
I did not like it. I did not like it.
No, I'm saying like do a new series. Let Tom King play along maybe
Yeah.
one of the Ditko characters, Blue Beetle, Captain Atom, The Question, Peacemaker. I mean, I'm not throwing Peacemaker because we have John Cena, but I'm just that question. The characters that would be influential to become the original Charleston characters. Have him maybe take on one of those as maybe a book and see what he can do with that.
If you don't want to read Rorschach, we can also do.
No, I'll take a look into it.
Because Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is ending in a month as well, so that's another Tom King book with another fantastic artist. Yeah, there's so much. So we could do more. We could definitely revisit Tom King.
Who's doing Rorschach?
It's Jorge Fornes on art.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's writing?
I tracked down the issue that I'm missing, so I'm going to finish Rorschach today.
But who's the writer?
It's Tom King.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's why I was suggesting that because there's more Tom King books.
Okay. All right.
It'll be like we'll just revisit Tom King every quarter or whenever he puts out.
Okay.
But he's just announced another Batman book, Batman Killing Time.
Man.
So the Tom King is here to stay.
I had to say it. Take Tom King off the major characters and put him into like these minor. I mean, come on, Mr. Miracle, Adam Strange. I want to see what he can do with like the characters not everybody knows about.
I think he worked. I think the way Tom King is probably being approached is like, you have to do one book that we want to do, and then we'll let you do one book that you want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's how he got that Vertigo book.
That's what it seems like to me.
I want him to team up with Doc again. So whatever book it is, I want Doc.
Oh, he's also working on a creator-owned book somewhere like outside. He hasn't announced anything, but he said that he does have a.
Those is non-DC.
Yeah, like something outside of DC. He hasn't announced the publisher or anything. So
I mean, that's good when a creator can actually work on his own stuff too, outside of just paying the bills.
I do have a Batman question though. Since Batman was his first go-to detective, who are Batman's top 5 backup detectives?
Robin,
Detective Chimp,
Nightwing,
Detective Chimp.
Oh,
Nightwing, Robin,
Mr. Terrific, maybe Martian Manhunter.
By the way, when you said Robin,
what about Elongated Man?
Yeah,
they haven't been using it. They haven't been using. Oh, Elongated by Tom King.
I would. Oh my. Well,
you could have so much fun with that. Just everything. Like come on. Identity Crisis. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know though. With Sue.
So Josh, Elongated Man done by Tom King.
I'm kind of torn because we kind of already had our.
I feel like we would just get Identity Crisis again.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like
no, it doesn't have to be that. I just
did
like,
the Elongated Man thing.
It's totally different with Elongated. But the thing is, we're talking about
Elongated Man is a happy character to me, and so Identity Crisis was like a weird read. So it's weird to take Tom King and have him take a character that's fairly happy and
it doesn't have to be
make it dark, because I don't see him ever. I mean, look what he did with these 3 characters. He took Vision and gave Vision what he wanted, and it just disrupted everything. His wife killed his nemesis.
But I'm going to go with the question. I think would be because we're talking about a character who's gone insane, has died. Renee Montoya took over, and now they're back. Now he's back alive since the remerge of the multiverse. I'm kind of curious to see what, and just hearing the podcast about the official history of Vic Savage. I think it'd be kind of interesting to see what he might do with them.
Yeah,
because I look back at as a friend mentioned, his favorite portrayal of the Question was Justice League Unlimited, when he's like he's this this kind of guy who's like always worried to be like a conspiracy theorist, and just
But you can't miss out on that Dennis Cowan art. Even though I didn't like the Jeff Lemire run, the Dennis Cowan art is incredible. And it's also a throwback to the old quarterly series with Denny O'Neil writing. So those quarterly books are my Question essentials.
Cool. All right. Well, that'll close the door here for now on the Strange Adventures. We highly recommend the book. We're going back to Earth now. We're done. Our Zeta are wearing off.
Well, and it's a good time because the trade paperback just came out. So if you want to just sit and read the whole thing and be horribly depressed,
it's on Hoopla. You can borrow it on Hoopla. You can if you have the DC Infinite app. I think all the issues are there now. I think I was missing one when I was reading it in December, so by now it should be on there. Cool. Well, keeping up with the spoiler talk, let's touch a little bit on this week's Book of Boba Fett.
I have watched none of it.
So really?
Oh, wow. Is there
Well,
no
we
draw
won't
to
too deep
Boba
into
Fett
it.
for you? Because a lot of people are saying Mandalorian outdid Boba Fett, so Boba Fett isn't as appealing. But
Nah,
I'm
it's a
enjoying the
different show.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean,
think this
I-
was my favorite episode of the season so far. And a lot of it has to do with a lot of Ming-Na Wen on the screen, like just doing cool shit. I love
Yeah.
Fennec. It's a really cool character. It also feels like, we have been using this storytelling device of going back and forth between flashbacks and then seeing what happened. I think they're done with that. So going forward, which is going to be like.
Did you any of you guys listen to the Ming-Na Wen episode of Inside You with Michael Rosenbaum?
No.
So Michael interviewed her and talking about like how she was so like she's a huge Star Wars fan. The fact she gets to play the character, and he's like, you've done everything. You've done Marvel, you've done Star Wars, and she goes, yeah. And you're like, what's your fandom? And he asked the question, do you like doing conventions? She goes, I did at first, and I had a chance to talk to that one guy, and she goes, oh my god, why am I blank on his name? And for like 2 minutes, she cannot think of it. She goes, the guy from Battlestar Galactica. And it was Edward James Olmos, and she could not remember his fucking name, and she felt so bad.
To be fair, that's 3 names, so it's hard to remember.
I know.
That's funny. Yeah, I love seeing her videos of her at panels. But yeah, I really like this last episode. I think things are about to kick off, and we feel like the gang's almost put together.
I love the Gamorrean guards. I love the backstory on all the Tusken Raiders and their history, and I want more of them.
They need to do a Tusken Raider series, not anime. I want to see a live action Tusken, even if it's just like a couple episodes. I think just kind of the fact we delve into not just the characters themselves, but the myth and the culture.
I kind of want to see maybe like a series on Tatooine before and after the drought, like what happened to the ocean? What happened to the oceans that they dried up and then it turned out the way it was? Like, and maybe some characters going through that. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting. And a warning to the world.
Right.
So okay.
I like more of the I almost said barbarian, bounty hunter Wookiee.
Oh
yeah, I'm excited for him too, man. That's badass looking.
Josh, you need to watch Book of Boba.
I do.
The fact he ripped off the arm. I'm just like, it's a callback to the first Star Wars. It's like,
Wookiee won't rip your arms out of sockets.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are we all caught up on Peacemaker?
Yes.
I've been so busy.
I thought I'd be willing to put down a bet because I know we said that if we got to 500 viewers or subscribers, we would do something. If we get to 1,000, I will do the full Peacemaker dance as Captain Boomerang. If we get 1,000 subs.
That's brilliant. Come on, subs, let's do this.
Go start making other alternate emails. It's so good. Have you at least seen the opening credit, Josh?
No.
What?
Pull it up so we can watch him.
You are the worst, Josh.
No, we are not finishing. We're not ending this episode until you pull up the video and he's going to watch the intro. We can put at least a minute and a half extra time. He's watching the fucking intro.
Oh my god, Josh, you're killing me here.
I've heard it's really good.
You can watch the intro by itself on YouTube. Just pull the damn video. He's got to see this.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Without going too far into it, it was really good. This week was really, really good as well.
I mean,
so for the
guy the guy that's playing Vigilante, I heard he's recast. Like they had a guy they filmed 5 episodes with. And this is the replacement guy, and he's killing it, man.
Oh no! Shit.
When Vigilante goes into the prison and sits down with the white trash rednecks, and then just insults them to their face, and then kicks their ass, that's like my favorite thing in the whole show.
All right, here I got the credits.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Josh, you got at least the whole. You guys, let me know if you can hear this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shortcut to your dream, float straight to the stars on a flying thing. Getting snow blind, Pikachu, Chickaboo in the world beyond. Got a beat, got a heat on the phone. It's stay over the park. Once the night starts, do we want to taste it? Come down.
Just has his gun out.
Baby, you're losing ground. Just slow me down.
Robert Patrick.
Robert Patrick, yeah.
What's going on? Let's come down.
Oh, I love him.
Oh my god, this is great.
Baby, you're losing ground. Just slow me down.
Judo Master.
Wait.
My
That's
favorite. That
amazing.
is my favorite thing all year. is
Josh,
that
you're
thing.
missing out, dude.
Oh my
All
god.
right, well, I'll start it soon.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they 30-minute or hour
They're like
long?
They're out
40
like 40
to
something
50.
minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 40 to 50.
47.
And I'm gonna say this right now. I swear to God, he did it for all of Guardians. I swear to God, I hope we get a fucking Peacemaker vinyl soundtrack because I want that fucking music.
Yeah.
Oh, that the hair metal I love.
That intro is my new favorite song. Do you want again?
I know. I did play it a lot.
Oh,
Got-
That's amazing.
And you're right, it
Absolutely.
never gets
never
old.
gets old.
oh, my favorite new show. Like, I mean, John Cena is now officially Peacemaker as Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. It's like,
Yeah.
you can't not do it. Oh,
He owns this character.
So the thing is, John Cena was a wrestler. He's used to living the gimmick, right? He's
Yeah.
used to being in it 24/7. So like, Ryan Reynolds, as funny of a guy he is, he does other stuff. Like, no, John Cena can
Yeah.
commit to the bit.
well, and this is like, okay. I'm gonna throw this out there. Like, look at we got The Rock and we got John Cena. For the longest time, and now granted, we have a teaser trailer for Black Adam. How long have we been wanting to see The Rock as the Black Adam?
Yeah.
John
Forever.
Cena took the helmet, went into the Suicide Squad. He's done Peacemaker. We have more John Cena in a role that's made for him than we have seen The Rock do anything with DC, and it makes me happy.
Yes.
Now, James Gunn is doing live tweets every Saturday night with episodes. So
Yep. Peacemaker
you-
party.
yeah, if you miss the Peacemaker party Saturday night, I think he's doing episode 5 next week.
Yep.
And one of the best things that came out of this week was Robert Patrick tweeting along, because in the beginning dance sequence at the very end, watch Robert Patrick because he's off and he's tweeting about it and he's like, I'm terrible.
They released a little bit. Thanks for watching, G. Oh yeah. Enjoy the noise. They released a little behind the scene video. It's like 2-3 minutes also about making the opening. So
Oh
if you
my
haven't seen that,
God.
check it out.
Wow.
But yeah, Josh, you need to get on it. You need to
I
get
do.
on it.
It's kind of sad because like I was reading an article and they said like the fact like I'm looking forward to see him do Guardians 3, but they're saying like he's only on loan to DC, like he's a Marvel boy still, and I'm just kind of like I want to see him work on more DC properties.
Listen, I don't normally credit those trolls for doing stupid shit on the internet, but them getting Gunn removed from the project temporarily, it just paid off for everyone.
I know we're getting Peacemaker because some guy pulled up an old tweet,
Yeah.
We're getting this awesome Suicide Squad. I mean,
Yeah,
fuck.
this is
James
well,
Gunn does fucking comic book movies the way we want them.
Yes, put him in charge of DC. Just make him the person in charge of all DC cinematic stuff.
What?
TV.
And he's
Give me my
I-
Guardians 3 first, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna earn Daniel's ire when I say this, but if you look at the DC EU, all the good movies are non-Zack Snyder movies, right?
Yeah.
The first Wonder Woman. I know, he's out. Nope, he's gone.
Just kidding.
No,
Why-
Josh
can
is
you guys
right.
hear me? Can you guys hear
Yo,
me?
yeah.
Am I muted? Can you hear me?
No,
Yeah.
we hear you. And thank you, Josh. I love you right now.
That's funny.
That's a good comment.
What would you say to James Gunn was making it run DC?
I know. That is not a
Because-
job anybody would want.
No, but he would actually save DC. I think he's like
He's a creator, but there's also
I
like a
know.
level of having to just be an executive
Well,
to do that bullshit.
no, I'll give you that, but at least let him do more stuff for DC. I think he could have. I think there are characters I think he'd have more fun with the DC than right now with Marvel.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope he can.
They
do so
need
much
to
stuff in the
attack-
future.
Yeah, they need to attack the DC arena as far as movies as fun stuff, and
Yes,
and,
right.
and
I
James
mean-
Gunn is doing the fun stuff.
That's what made Shazam so successful,
Shazam was
right?
fun.
It was
Well,
like
yeah,
it's
Birds of Prey.
There needs to be some levity in there. What DC needs is not James Gunn leading it. What they need is their own Kevin Feige. They need someone with a vision of like, this is what we're gonna do. But I think understanding like different tones are important. Sorry, Zack Snyder. But
Listen.
Could you guys see a James Gunn Plastic Man movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Actually, no. I want an Edgar Wright Plastic Man movie.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, Then we were talking about Tom King with Mr. Miracle and Adam Strange. Who would be somebody like nobody would think of that you want to see James Gunn kind of, whether it be TV series or movie, maybe take a shot at?
Micronauts?
DC.
Oh. I know, but nobody owns Micronauts. Or no, IDW. I guess they own it.
Yeah, Hasbro and IDW on that.
If they gave him
a plan, yes.
Yeah. If they gave him free reign, I would like to see him do Legion of Superheroes.
Interesting.
Oh yeah.
That
right?
Yeah.
Because we
shout out to Matter Eating Lad.
Yeah, well, we already thought that Fillion was playing Arm Fall Off Boy, and it was similar to that, right? It's got that sci-fi group dynamic. So
what if they were to actually give him free reign and let him do blue and gold?
Oh man!
Wow!
I just want to see a Blue Beetle and a Buster.
And we're getting a Blue Beetle, like we're getting Jaime, or Jamie Blue Beetle, but I want to see
Ted Cord.
Ted Cord.
Right.
I mean, I almost want to.
Both,
it would
honestly.
It's a buddy cop series, is what that is, and
I think if you decide to do a blue and gold buddy cop TV series, I think James Gunn, after watching Peacemaker, kind of puts the humor. You really don't think so?
I'm gonna say Shane Black, because Shane Black already did a superhero movie. He did Iron Man 3, but he's done The Nice Guys, Lethal Weapon, Last Boy Scout. He knows how to do buddy cop humor.
Iron Man 3 was all right.
Action. Yeah, but I'm using the others as better examples. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
The problem was that his buddy was a kid in a garage.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a controversial recommendation because I'm seeing a Booster Beetle project as less action oriented and more comedy.
Yeah.
I want to see what they're doing between. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Kevin Smith's good. I want to see what they do in between the fights.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got the writing chops where I think you could. Yeah, he would do the dialogue you would need between those two. And like, they're coming off an adventure and maybe.
Although he would probably tell you. He'll probably tell you.
Just honestly, you get Keith Giffen to write it.
Oh yeah.
Right, and then the director is secondary.
you make your tentpole character Ambush Bug, and you build the universe around him.
Sold.
I'm going to put a challenge out to every one of you. Next week, come back with 5 DC movies that you think would be fun and who you would put in them. And it could just be like a director or an actor. You don't have to put the whole thing together. But I think there are 5 movies we could come up with that would be more fun than.
No. Just one quick. I love that idea. But for Josh, they actually mentioned Matter Eater Lad in this week's episode of Peacemaker.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Peacemaker's hung out with him.
Huh?
So clearly, James Gunn is a Legion fan. Like, just give him Legion.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Okay. Oh my god.
All right. Well, on to other things that happened this week. So Clay and I did a little live stream on Monday, since we knew when the Moon Knight trailer was gonna be airing. Yes. The video did really well. Then I doubled down by making an abridged version of our stream and reposting that. But man, so. Josh,
I have more thoughts.
Yeah, Josh, did you watch the Moon Knight trailer? Okay.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer.
Look, I know we don't give you homework, but sometimes you just should read ahead for the lesson plan.
I know. I try to do my part. I slacked a bit this week because I knew we were talking about Strange Adventures, and again, I read it first.
Oh, so. You're the guy that finished his homework once early.
Yeah. I turned it in one time on time.
Yeah. Cool. So we want to hear from you two first, Kyle and Josh, since Clay and I talked a little bit already.
I'm still a little torn. I wasn't expecting them to actually kind of play him off as one of the other identities. I think we might start with Mark Spector kind of as, but I'll say this much, because at the end of the trailer, and this is I was with some friends and they asked me to talk about Moon Knight. I explained the situation, and there's a scene when you see him all in the costume at the end of the trailer, and he's just beaten down. Looks like a werewolf.
Yep.
Do you think there's any chance? This would be Marvel. Any fucking chance we're gonna get Werewolf by Night in this series?
I hope.
Because
I hope.
they were major crossover characters back in the 70s when they introduced them both.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because that's when he showed
It's
us
his
up.
first appearance, right?
Yeah.
I think we saw that. So that creature does have like gold anklet. So we're thinking maybe it's like a jackal from Anubis or or something. But
maybe.
Or it could be
But-
Vermin.
yeah, but Marvel
They
did
never-
announce like
Those are never really crossed together. I don't think Vermin and Moon Knight were ever
No,
like.
it's
In the
current
current book.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but also, Marvel did announce something like a Halloween special this year with Werewolf by Night.
Did they?
So maybe, yeah, something's
Ooh.
happening. Like I don't know exactly what it is, what the project's
That's
supposed to
awesome.
be, but yeah, it's weird. So Werewolf by Night's definitely at some point coming. So I would see this would be a great place to at least plant some seeds of
Yeah.
that character in the MCU. But Josh, what about you? What did you think of the trailer?
Yeah, I loved it. So I got the impression, I think to your point, Kyle, that you know how most of the Disney Plus shows so far, there is like a central mystery, right? Kind of threading through it. I took from this trailer that the central mystery is he has multiple identities, but he's unaware of it. So it seems like the central mystery is him figuring out what these identities are. I'm a little torn on the bright light eyes on the costume. It bugs me for some reason. Maybe it's just me, but it's like if you're gonna be Moon Knight, you're already wearing a bright white costume in the dark, and you've got eyes that glow.
I'm willing to leave that off just for the fact it's the trailer.
Yeah.
There's been enough times where I've seen a trailer and it gives you think it's going to be one thing and it's totally not what you expected when you got to the actual series. So that's why I get where you're going with it. I want to see this. I want to see episode 1 first.
I think the eyes is both an aesthetic reason because otherwise, how would you know that he has eyes? I mean, because of the way the costume is made through the bandages or whatever. But also it feels like it explains that this is a supernatural thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Right. Which is why the eyes go like. There's an entity. There's an entity under Moon Knight, under the mask. That's not, Mark or Steven or the cab driver.
So,
yeah,
is this going to be the kind of thing where, like, we see him in one of his identities, and Moon Knight's doing other things, and he's unaware at first that he's Moon Knight, right? Like he's just trying to track, because it seemed there was very clearly a disconnect, but almost like a Jekyll and Hyde sort of thing, right? Like he wakes up, with like cape sores. I don't know. I'm just riffing here, but
Well, I feel like that they're gonna have the separate personalities have been taken over his body, and that's why he can't sleep. So So I think they're showing us someone who this is a distraction. I don't think what we saw is Mark Spector. It's just going to be Khonshu.
Yeah,
Maybe. I think it's going to be because the character we're seeing now is supposedly. Oh my gosh, which one? It's they call him by name. Steven Grant, who's the producer in the comics, is a different role completely. So they've completely recast what kind of person that was into a museum,
like guard or something.
He's like a gift shop worker or something.
Yeah. Like, so he works in the museum where this is. So we don't see any action, and that's Moon Knight's a violent book. So the fact that we saw nothing, I think we're seeing one side. We're going to see probably episodes maybe with each personality and him trying to get it together. I mean, my hope is that this focuses on like his mental health and how to deal with it.
Seems like it, yeah.
Because he's losing it.
We're only getting 6 episodes, I think, right? So,
man, that's not enough to cover a lot of.
I know. It's like they keep shortening the season length, it seems, right? Because WandaVision had what, 9?
I think
9. It was 9.
9. Yeah, you're right. 9.
9. Okay. And it just seems like they're getting shorter and shorter. So,
WandaVision was an exception though because she had the TV episodes that were like 30 minutes, and they started off short.
It did
They
kind
were
of
shot
vary.
differently,
Yeah.
and then evolved into the I guess
But-
real
but-
world.
Falcon Winter Soldier was supposed to be more than the 6 episodes we saw because they did get cut down, but I think that was due to COVID. So we'll see. I mean, this could have been due to COVID too. It's still going on, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm glad that a whole new generation of kids now has heard Kid Cudi's Day and Night. Because that song's a banger.
Who's Kid Cudi?
No boy. Listen,
I don't know.
man,
I'm just hyped for all the Moon Knight toys.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
me too. One thing that really I love Clay's reaction to Moon Knight when he jumps over the building and it turns into the Disney Plus thing. Go
yeah,
back and
Yeah.
watch the video.
yeah, I saw that.
He's like, "Wow, what?" It's really good.
Have
The
they
darkest,
confirmed-
most violent character. We're gonna put him in the Disney logo.
Have they confirmed who Ethan Hawke's playing?
Yes, he's playing a cult leader that appeared in one issue of Moon Knight. It's the
Of course, one
issue,
issue.
and it's not one of my favorite. They're pulling from the Fist of Khonshu miniseries where he got like the gold weapons and shit from
Okay.
Egypt. I'm not a fan of that run, but it's like cool weapons and shit. So maybe that's the angle on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're changing quite a bit, but I still am excited that people will go read Moon Knight
Yeah,
that are excited about the character. And it's Oscar Isaacs. The only way they could fuck him up is if they made him like Apocalypse. I mean, the way the X-Men movie
If
fucked
they
him up.
shave him, if they shave him bald, that's all
Oscar
that-
Isaacs and Ethan Hawke are my saving grace for the show because
You should watch. They made a trailer reaction video. Marvel put out a trailer reaction of them two watching the trailer.
I
It's
watched
adorable. I
that.
love
Yeah.
it. It's
you know,
like,
you said it didn't seem action oriented enough, but I feel like that was the really kind of striking last scene when he's just beating the crap out of the werewolf, right? It's
Yeah.
like, oh god, oh jeez, you know. So
Well, but you don't see any blood. And to me,
Yeah,
that was always like the visual element of having an all white costume is if you're going
Yeah.
to beat the shit out of somebody, by night's end, you're covered in red.
yeah, the only blood we saw was when he was in the truck, and we know he had, from the teaser from November or whenever it came out. We know that he beats up some dudes in the little wherever town hall area they're in before he gets in the truck sequence. I'm assuming. So we'll see. But yeah, you're right. As Moon Knight, he hasn't really beat the shit out of anyone, other than the
that
jackal wolf vermin thing.
I
So-
hope it's Vermin.
I'm
Crossover into
excited.
Spider-Man a bit.
that'd
Yeah.
be interesting.
Oh, maybe Vermin's a Sony character. Maybe they can't use it just sparingly.
He might be. I mean, is Craven?
Craven is definitely Sony. Yeah.
Then probably Vermin.
Yeah.
as well. I
Okay.
mean, like, did they just get the rights to the whole?
No,
Spidey-
they have to be like co-productions and stuff like that. So
Well, yeah, but
Oh.
wait. Are we sure they have Vermin? Because Vermin was never officially a straight
no, I don't
character.
know. I don't have a chart in front of me. I don't even know where I would find that.
Yeah.
Maybe let me look through Sony's leaked emails from a few years ago.
That'd be good. That'd be good. I think mine are in there too. So go
I would
ahead.
love to see a listing of how they listed characters that Sony could use and couldn't use.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get into our recommendations and close out the show, I wanted to do, first of all, I want to shout out our patrons. So we have the Ivory Comic Books podcast. We have, damn it, I didn't pull up the list and I was trying to do it off the top of my head. Hold on. Hold, please. There we go.
Please hold for our patrons.
This segment is brought to you in part by our patrons. And how do we look
Who?
at this? Who make this all possible, kind of. So yeah, we have Mike Rappin, we have I Read Comic Books, Fine O'Neill, and Jason Ashmore. Thank you guys very much. But as a special treat, we wanted to do a little thing for one of them. All right, so are you guys ready? Do you remember what we talked about? We'll start with Clay and then go around the horn.
Oh, I forgot. What am I supposed to say?
So just introduce yourself. It's at the bottom of the notes. So you just introduce yourself. I'll read a little thing, and then we'll read the part that says everyone all together or as together as we can as together as we can, I guess, by doing this remotely. I don't know if Mike's still watching. He joined us earlier, but he might have to go. They got to do their own show in a little bit. So this is a shout out for the I Read Comic Books podcast. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, go ahead, Clay.
Hi, this is Clay Harrison from the Next Issue Podcast.
Hey, this is Kyle Condis from the Next Issue Podcast.
This is Josh Rose from the Next Issue Podcast.
This is Daniel Martinez from the Next Issue Podcast. We want to congratulate our friends over at the I Read Comic Books Podcast on their 7th annual. And remember,
Comics are good.
So
So are
you. All right, cool.
Josh is coming like a trans. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, that sounded super intense. We'll see how that goes, but we did it.
Oh
I
man.
think you got like one of those fucking voice boxes, like
Yeah, like a
"Hi, how are
modulator."
you?"
Remind me off show sometime to tell you about how the doctor that delivered my daughter had one of those. It was
Really?
a very Lynchian birth, let me tell you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Clay's face right now.
Wow. I'm just thinking of like being in
Yeah.
there. She's coming out. You know, just
I don't know what this means. Do you guys know what did I just get Tammy Fade means?
Tammy Faye.
Does it refer to the movie?
G,
That
could you
Clay talks
elaborate
about?
on that? Because I don't know what you're
Yeah.
referencing.
I'm not sure either. And I saw the Eyes of Tammy Faye movie.
And I watched this in real life with Tammy Faye. So, like,
Which again, listener, let me remind you, is the only thing Danny knew about Tammy Faye.
all right. Let's go on to recommendations, and I can start, and then we'll go around. Actually, no, I want to start with Kyle's because his looks dope.
Yeah, I saw somebody post about it.
No,
No.
oh, sorry.
It did not.
I
I may have been in grad school when that show was out. I'm old.
Oh Jesus! I don't know why, but when she said Tammy Faye, my head went straight to Tina Fey. I thought we were talking about like 30 Rock or something.
Now there's a mashup.
Here we go.
Oh, I don't want the newsletter.
Yeah. So somebody posted on yesterday. Basically, it's Waxwork Records have released a full soundtrack to Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Cool.
and it's double disc. Oh my god, this has one of the. It's probably my favorite martial arts film ever. But this is a great B film. Just the music in it alone is so synth based, and of course, being the Transformer movie nut that I am, they actually have a song or two done by Stan Bush in this album, also in the movie also. So
I was just talking to some people about JCVD movies, and I was like, I think Bloodsport is my favorite.
no, it's the best one. I mean, if I had to really rate any of his films, Bloodsport is number one. It's like
Josh, can you find out what Getting Tina Fey is?
It's working on your night cheese.
Oh, I thought it'd be high fiving a million angels.
but yeah, no.
Dude, that looks super cool. I don't need it.
Oh, I want it. I'm getting it.
Here, let me show some more images. I didn't realize there were more images. Hold on.
Whoa.
Oh
Look
wow.
at that.
And it's funny because the Yellow album, the cover, a small like a print on the center. There's a scene when J&F's character Frank Dukes is in a hotel and he meets his friend and they're playing Karate Champ, and that's the image from the game right there. And it's
Oh,
just
that's
like,
funny.
yeah.
That's so great.
Oh my god, this.
I really like the opening.
Yeah.
The opening.
The opening should have been him doing the splits. Why is it those two? I would have.
You know,
Man,
you got a valid point.
It is. Hey, but
that should have been the
Please,
front cover and
please.
the back cover.
please, someone hire Clay to like oversee these projects. That's brilliant. That is just brilliant. I love
Yeah.
that.
DC, I have a plan for your movies. Call me.
At next issue. I mean that at
I'm so picking this up.
that's so good. I like that. I like that a lot. Cool. All right. Here, let me go next. So I got a few things. So first of all, and I think Josh also put this on his list. Saga 55. Saga's coming back after a long hiatus.
What is?
I'm super excited. Saga from Image Comics.
Saga. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
it is it's a double-sized issue, no price increase. They said they felt bad it had been so long, so it's 44 issues for $2.99.
Hey, you know how much paper's going for right now? That's a good deal.
Yeah, that is. So I am so hyped and also so scared. Just based on where it wrapped up last time, I am
Me too.
very terrified.
I need to find the YouTube video that touches on like all the main things of Saga. Like,
Yeah, I need that too because it's been two years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been.
And I am not reading 54 issues. So I'm not rereading 54. But also in other news, the things that will be coming to the channel, Superman and Robin are back together in their own little miniseries.
Yeah,
So this will follow Jonathan Kent, Superman, and
Damian
Wayne. Thank you, Robin. And then also this week is Detective Comics 1050, which is a milestone issue there. It will also, not only will it continue the current story that we're reading, the Tower, but it will have Mark Waid and Dan Morris' first story of their World's Finest that's coming out pretty soon.
That's right.
who's going to be in that? Is it going to be Superman, Batman, or what's going to
Yeah, Superman and Batman are going to have their own book again. So yeah, if you want to check that out, stay tuned for the channel because we'll have reviews for that. I haven't read any of these issues yet, but yeah, we'll have video reviews for that. But I definitely recommend you guys pick those up. Now, Josh, do you have anything other than the book?
No, it was just that. I was going to say, make sure you pick up Saga next week.
Yeah, great.
Issue 55.
Well, that's a double rec, so now you really have to go do it.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Clay, what do you got?
I don't have anything this week. Other than I will probably say everyone go watch Joe Pera.
Okay,
I just added it to my
that works.
watch list.
If anyone watches Joe Pera reads the church announcements, please tweet at me and let me know your thoughts.
I want to watch that one, and then I saw there was one I think in the current season that is Joe Pera listens to you like drunken rambling, and it's I guess his girlfriend talking about stuff while getting drunk, and I'm like, oh, I'm on board for that. That sounds fun.
And they're short episodes, so they're easily consumable.
Like how short?
11 minutes.
Yeah,
they're very short. Okay.
All right. Well,
Even
all right,
Josh can watch them.
Before we head out, I did go back and hear the audio of our shout out, and yeah, it's unintelligible what we're trying to say.
You mean without practicing once, we got it bad?
Well, it's not that. It's that whatever voice modulation happened to Josh's microphone while we were all saying it. Like when we introduce ourselves, that's fine. But when we all yell, like, comics are good, like it just sounds like a robot is crying.
Yes.
Then keep it because I need you to put in that sounded like robots are crying. And then that's the promo.
I think so. I think so.
We're gonna send it to them, but I do want to record another clean version so they can put it on their show if they want.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Do you just want to take that clip of Tobias in the shower and then just take my audio over it?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We have some good feedback on the chat. Yes.
Okay, so if we re-record it, how about I just don't say anything at the end so it doesn't screw up the audio?
Okay, I mean it sounds fine now. I don't know what happened with your thing. I don't know what happened.
Weird.
Like you sound fine right now.
Okay.
It's just like your microphone knew we were gonna do something fun, and it's like, no, you don't, you piece of shit. So let's do it again so we can send this off, and then we'll sign off that way. Thanks. Let me give shout outs before we leave. G, thank you for watching. Leonard Kim, thank you for chatting.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
And then Mike, I don't think you're still there because I know you're doing your own show, but thank you for stopping by and talking a little bit of X-Men. What was it, algebra with us?
Yeah.
So, all right, Clay, you want to kick us off again on the 1 and the 2 and the 3?
Hi, this is Clay from the Next Issue Podcast.
Hi, this is Kyle from the Next Issue Podcast.
Hi, this is Josh from the Next Issue Podcast.
And this is Daniel from the Next Issue Podcast. And we want to congratulate our friends over at I Read Comic Books Podcast on their 7th annual. And remember, comics are good.
And so are you.
Great. Awesome. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Yeah.
Really, I never. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
That's what happened to us.
It was the three of you talking and me just doing this.
Yeah. So, all right. I never have the closing ready. Thanks everyone for
okay.
watching. Yeah, I'm
I
just
still
gonna end
haven't
the show.
re-edited it, so
I'm just gonna end the show with
I'd sure like to fist him.